We begin the episode with Ava waking up in her room as she hears a loud thud. She leaves her room and notices the hallway has been completely destroyed, with holes in the walls and blood being spilled, horrifying her. Hector! She rushes to the living room to see Hector Ayala, dead in the living room, as Mr. Fish comes from behind and swings at her, with her being able to just dodge, but gets hit by a gas from Chemistro.
You should listen to us, or else you will suffer under my paw.
As the two conjoin with one another, becoming a giant green beast, revealing it to be a giant tiger, as it pounces at her as she truly wakes up this time, in a fright, out of breath, sweating, and checking the time. She then punches herself in the stomach. Ow! Okay. Definitely not my brightest idea. She hurries and checks the rooms with such haste to see that Hector is nowhere to be found. But luckily, she finds a note on the fridge saying he got called into work. And that she's grounded. ¿Qué? Pero yo soy un dot. Porque before continuing her self-rambling, she notices the amulet being around her neck and taking it off with a heavy sigh. I don't want to make him more upset. After washing her face and taking a shower to calm herself down from the nightmare, she puts on the news, seeing them talking about the white tiger. Thanks, Louie. Now, in other news, it seems like the Bronx's folktale hero, or anti-hero, the white tiger, has finally showed themselves clearly after many years of this local legend being spread after stopping Arthur Reynolds, also known as Copperhead, from stealing an urn at Bronx's art museum. Reports say that this white tiger contradicts past stories of them, as many suspected the white tiger to have been male, with others wondering if this could potentially be a successor. We have a local cop who will remain anonymous for their safety, speaking about the white tiger. That cop is Hector Ayala, who Ava can tell just by his voice, as he shares his negativity towards the white tiger, and states how the white tiger has brought misfortune to him and others around them in the past, saying that he's in support of most of the other vigilantes that are still around, but is unsure about how this new white tiger will be. As they continue their conversation, Ava turns the TV off with a tear leaving her eye. Were you talking about the white tiger, Hermana? I'm sure you did, yeah, of course. Why am I feeling so hurt? As Ava takes a breather, she looks towards the amulet. She grabs it and heads out of the apartment. After Hector finishes his call, we see him have a genuine sadness take over his face as we see his day, where he goes to the station, texts Ava but have no reply this time, looks at his phone, an old video of their family having good times. Looks like this video is about 3 hours, and it shows them all together happy before the incident. There's also him looking into cases, checking pieces of evidence, having a chat with Rick Rojat just as he leaves back into Manhattan, and we see Hector driving around, doing his best to do his job, as we see him return to the dock he fought the Black Hand at so long ago. Hector looks around to try and find anything useful, but besides finding many fired bullets and destroyed wood, and a few pieces of copper, he didn't find much other evidence that he determined could be helpful. So this is where Ava fought them at. After he continues to drive and overhears people talking about and reading the white tiger, he notices many of the other older folks are smiling at the youngsters, showing how passionate they are about the new white tiger, seemingly even grateful. We cut back to Ava, who is skating around the northern Bronx, as they see a group of individuals wearing black gloves, similar to all Black Hand members she had seen before, go down into a bunker. She hides her skateboard behind a dumpster and puts on the amulet and heads down. Entering the bunker, one of the members look back, as Ava readies herself for a fight, but they don't acknowledge her, as they walk right by her to the bunker's door, shutting it closed. Dang thing, more rusty than Copperhead's first armor.
You're only saying that 'cause he ain't here. If he were, you'd keep your mouth shut.
You can it too. Shut up. People can still be able to hear us. We're by the top. So can it. Oh, you. They continue their bickering and head down, with the other members trying to calm them down. Ava, puzzled by what's occurred, looks to herself, realizing she's practically invisible. No need to thank me. I just need your loyalty. Best to listen to me next time. I will grant you 15 minutes. That is all you have, child. That powerful voice is revealed to be, in a quick flash of him, the Tiger God, in its green aura, being voiced by Keith David. Ava is stunned by the sheer volume of the voice, giving it no reply, and heads on down quietly, matching one of the members' steps to not draw concern. Down underground, we see a couple more Black Hand members, loads of boxes, and Mr. Fish looking over all the stuff. Took you guys long enough. Did you get the stuff?
Sure did. Here, sir.
The Black Hand members would hand some strange vials to Mr. Fish as he examines them and puts them away. Yeah, we had a run-in with the hand, sadly. It did look like the daredevil was back, but we didn't wait to see. I just must be tricking you. The devil's in hell. Or maybe heaven. Don't care. Now then, these will be very useful indeed. Here's the plan tonight. You need to...
Mr. Fish! The general's on the phone ordering you to speak with him.
General? Ava thinks to herself. That one guy did mention something about Mr. Fish, but why would a general be here? Why would any military leader deal with these guys? Not even the boss or leader? I need to listen to this call. Mr. Fish tells the others to keep moving stuff out as he goes behind a wall of boxes and two members stay guarding him. As Ava slowly approaches, she listens in, but can only make out, I understand. Send him to us and we'll, with the boxes muffling his voices again. Oh, come on. What the hell? What happened? Someone's here. I heard a lady. Our female soldiers are on El Tigre. Scope out the area. Ava, realizing she just messed up, decides to try fleeing, but notices her camouflage is starting to disappear, whispering Spanish curses to herself and asking the voice to let her keep it up, with no reply from it. Suddenly, we hear a bullet fire right next to her ear, disorienting her ability to hear. As she turns, seeing the members fire at her, with her deciding to fight back, taking out a good amount, but still suffering from the shots landing on her, as her dodging still isn't perfect, and she's become predictable at times. Them firing and fighting White Tiger gives Mr. Fish and other members the chance to flee above and split up to escape her. Once White Tiger knocks out the last member, she hurries on out and heads to the roofs and leaps over them, and her speed manages to outrun one of the trucks she's chasing, giving her time to head down safely and break open the back of it. Breaking it free, we see Black Hand members have their guns drawn and fire at her, as she struggles to fight the overwhelming numbers. And then, the truck suddenly makes a sharp right, sending her flying out as the truck reverses quickly, with her barely jumping out of the way. Police sirens can be heard far away, as Mr. Fish exits the driver's area, finishing a text and completely crushing the phone as he and White Tiger fight one another, with Black Hand members regrouping and readying attacks to strike whenever she gets the better of him. The police arrive, and with the amount of chaos around, this leads to her going practically feral, attacking all the Black Hand members and Mr. Fish, putting her martial arts skills to use. As she is about to slice down a Black Hand member's face, she's hit with a powerful kick, and looking up, gets hit with gas, revealing that Chemistro has arrived to join the fight. Once he does, one of the other officers calls for backup, as Black Hand members fire and attacks the cops. The battle with White Tiger versus Mr. Fish and Chemistro begins, with Mr. Fish and White Tiger trading blows on one another, as Chemistro lands 2 more gas shots on White Tiger before she gets stunned with them hitting her badly. From her point of view, though, we see that she sees herself fighting against a giant green tiger, using the voice of Hector, downplaying her as a hero, as a person, and as a sister. The area is an abyss, with many of the hits landing on her, as we flash back to seeing her lose a childhood friend just because of her living condition, and her being unsure how to react. We also see her struggle to swim, developing her fear of the ocean, as she's slammed down and is floating in the abyss. As the green tiger circles around her and pounces and continues insulting her, ridiculing her of everything and every single mistake and her backstabbing actions, causing her rage to boil to a dangerously high point. Back in reality, we see as Chemistrel's panting and giving White Tiger a pitiful sigh, with her on the ground seemingly knocked out, as they tell Mr. Fish to finish her off and that he's going to get the truck ready, with some Black Hand members beginning to retreat. As Mr. Fish is about to slam down at White Tiger, she quickly rolls out of the way and twists and spins and strikes him right in the face, sending him back right to the truck, hitting it badly, nearly destroying it, and nearly tossing it over to the other side, with Chemistrel getting back out to help, as the Black Hand members try striking at her, but get struck with singular hits, causing each of them, one by one, to get knocked out by her in her fit of rage. Once she's finished dealing with them, she rushes right to Mr. Fish. She tackles him, making them roll, as she throws many hits, deflecting and taking any hits he throws right her way. Realizing what's happening, Chemistrel switches to something in their gun and fires at her a sonic boom, sending her back. Before he can check on Mr. Fish, she's already back up and tries fighting him, but his sonic booms push her back, along with assistance from their fellow Black Hand members firing at her. That manages to delay her, giving Mr. Fish the time to flee. This causes her rage and growing fear to skyrocket, since all she still sees and hears is the giant green tiger taunting her and running off, leading to her chasing Mr. Fish, with Chemistrel having to run to catch up. Meanwhile, we see Hector Ayala, Rick Rojat, and Officer Mantlo at a stand eating takeout, discussing with one another about their futures and family. When it's Hector's turn, he expresses how afraid he is for his sister, since he believes she's about to take a path that leads to a dark future, sharing that he's scared she's going to be just as inexperienced and lost as he was, feeling like he can't get her out of this path in her life. They consult and advise him that since he went through that path before in his life, that he can help her as a sort of mentor for her and help her guide her through the troubles that it brings, so that she doesn't make those mistakes, and help her himself as well. Before he could reply, we hear the cries of scared civilians as Mr. Fish and White Tiger are battling while they still are running, with him throwing her into a shop to catch his breath as the cops get ready. But Chemistrel fires the sonic boom, sending them flying in different directions. In White Tiger's mind, the taunts of the green tiger's beast only worsen as she battles against the fear, switching between what she sees versus what is actually playing out, with her striking at Chemistrel, sending him far away as she continues her fight against Mr. Fish, with her being able to claw off one of his ears. As Hector goes to approach his sister, we cut quickly to Rick Rojat, seeing some Black Hand members approach him with maces and guns, with him shooting the guns away and begins brawling with them. Hector approaches Ava, slowly and cautiously, trying to calm her down. From her view, it's still the green beast approaching her, ready to pounce as Hector's voice echoes. She lunges at Hector, but he dodges, and continues to try to calm her down, with the green tiger's beast mimicking his voice in an attempt to twist his words. With White Tiger's intention on the cop, Mr. Fish takes this chance to get the hell on out and runs before she even notices him. This is where Ava vents and cries out her frustration, saying how it hurts hearing her brother be so disappointed in her and feeling like she's failed him for doing all this, saying that although this persona has hurt him, she wants to genuinely just do something in the world, that she has been feeling so lost and directionless ever since she blipped back. She wants to help and do good, but It's harder than she thought, and she doesn't want to be seen as just a weak person. Hector would be stunned, reflecting on what she said, reflecting his time as White Tiger too, feeling so confused, with no clear path, recognizing Ava has a path she wants to pursue, but is still lost, struggling with this path like how he had his whole life. He would start to walk calmly to her, comforting her, telling her that although he doesn't like the White Tiger, that doesn't mean he doesn't like his sister. He never meant to hurt Ava's feelings, and that he still loves her and wants to help her and apologize to her. From Ava's point of view, we see the green tiger beast slowly fade as Hector gets closer, as her adrenaline is at an all-time peak, with her seeing him clearly as Hector tells her that she's still his family, and that's not changing anything, hugging her as she hugs back tightly, bawling her eyes out, and passing out. We then cut quickly to Officer Mantlo overhearing what's taking place, noticing how, despite this scene, there weren't any civilians around, or conscious, in that case, to have heard what he did. I can't believe that. That's a lot to take in. I need to... As he turns, Chemistro, bruised and battered, changed their gun to be set on sleep gas, knocking Officer Mantlo out cold. Looks like I missed something. I pray I won't let you down by bringing this officer in, General. A couple hours later, we see Ava slowly gaining consciousness in her room. Noticing her amulet on her nightstand, she exits her room with caution and confusion as she hears Hector talking on the phone. I'm glad to hear you're okay, Rick. Hopefully we find out where Mantlo went. He turns and notices Ava sneaking at the corner. Hey, I gotta go. My sister woke up. Yeah, bye dude. Catch you up in a sec. As we get a moment of awkward silence, and then they both try speaking at the same time, apologizing. They laugh at the awkwardness and uncomfortableness of the situation, as Ava starts first. Look, I'm sorry. If I accidentally hurt you in any way, Hector, I know it was stupid, so stupid of me, to don the White Tiger. But I saw and looked into how you changed many lives and people, and thought that I could actually make a difference for once, instead of just always going to school. I still am, very lost in what I want to do. And I'm sorry. I won't be the White Tiger anymore, for you, Hermana. We see her hand him the amulet of powers right in his palm, as he looks at it like an old friend that has hurt you so much, but one that you never fully got the chance to appreciate the time with. Distraught, he takes a breath and looks back up at his sister, his true path. With no doubt, fear still lingers in what he's about to do, but he's faithful. Hermana, you are one of the strongest and one of the most powerful person I have ever known. And we literally see gods on our TV. But I can't lie. I was incredibly hurt seeing you become the White Tiger. Not because I had doubt you could be great in it, but rather I was scared you would be hurt and become lost because of the amulet, because of the persona you'd have to don. Pero, hoy vi. Today I saw how truly capable and how powerful you can be, using the White Tiger to become a new hope for many. With shaken hands, Hector continues. And I don't want you to be lost or feel alone. I never wanted to make you feel like that. So I'm gonna put my fear behind me and trust in you as I always have, my sister. As he puts the amulet around her neck, we see her transformation to the White Tiger, and under her mask, we hear her begin to sob. and a comforted, "Hector," come from her. Later that night, though, we see Officer Mantlo tied up to a chair, having been beaten up by Mr. Fish, with Gideon Mace expressing his disappointment in Mr. Fish. Chemistro explains that the fear gas used needs to be fixed up so that issues like that they have just experienced today won't occur again. Come on, officer. Tell us the identity of the white tiger, and you can suffer less. I won't. Ugh. As we cut to Officer Mantlo's point of view, hearing the distorted, "You truly are pathetic, Willie. Can't even get a pig to submit," from Gideon Mace, as Mantlo looks up to him. "Gideon Mace? You're alive?" As he turns, silence fills the room, as we see Gideon's face change from a shocked expression to a sinister realization. "See, boys, I never met this kid, but that means someone at his station does know me. This is what I mean by having power and intimidation. I've been abandoned by my country, and I won't be brought to what they see as justice." As the episode ends, with Gideon Mace putting on his mace for his hand and walking right to the cops.